Hey, sweets.
Hey, Savories.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm AJ. And this is the Sweet or Savory Podcast. Hey, everyone. Wow. It's 2022.
Welcome to 2022.
We hope everyone is doing well. For us, we are still actually fighting about the very topic that this podcast was started on.
Is peanut butter sweet or savory?
So stay tuned each week as we debate more things like, is Disneyland better than Disney World? Or
who has the best French fries?
And what color do you associate your folders with when you went to school?
And heated topics like, can you be friends with your ex?
Right.
For those of you who don't know us, let's do a quick intro.
Sure, yeah, a little background.
Here's a little background on my fiance and co-host, AJ Rafael. AJ is a singer-songwriter with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
He also works at East West Players, one of the nation's longest-running theaters for people of color.
Alyssa is a singer and performer and red carpet host, hello, who performed as Mulan at Disneyland for the Mickey and Magical Map Show for several years, and she's actually in this year's Forbes 30 Under 30 list for her work in diversity and inclusion as a manager on the Walt Disney Studios' RISE team, which stands for Representation, Inclusion, Strategies, and Engagement.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a mouthful.
What a mouthful. We just also wanted to say a quick thank you to Nathan and Julie Texan, who are behind the cameras and behind the scenes for helping us produce this episode, and our very first sponsor, Samson, for providing the gear to record this episode. To learn more about them, visit samsontech.com.
And the idea for this podcast came from a debate that was sparked in our friends group chat. Shout out to our friend Danny Salerno for being the person to ask the question, is peanut butter sweet or savory? AJ and I were the first ones to respond to that group chat, and we were surprised that we had very different opinions, which led on to a full-on debate that lasted for days and I guess now months.
I mean, it's still going, literally. But, we started this podcast because one day in the car, we're planning a trip, an end of the year trip for us to plan, our
Vision
goals for the
boarding,
year and
goal setting.
Yeah, things like that. And we went to Huntington Beach. And we spent a night there, just one night. But we thought of this on the way there, that we were going to start a podcast.
And here we are. Our very first podcast.
So thanks to everyone who made this happen. And thanks to our group chat. It's the start of so many different debates that we have now in this group chat. But this very first one, of course, is peanut butter sweet or savory? Alyssa, why don't you share your side of the spectrum?
Yeah, let's get into it. Peanut butter is obviously sweet.
Oh, you're starting off very obviously?
Oh,
that's a strong... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, well, peanut butter is sweet because peanut butter itself is a sweet treat. When I am going to the pantry and looking for a snack, I'm not going to choose peanut butter as a savory treat. I'm obviously going to, if I'm craving savory, I'm going for a chip. Maybe a dip with that chip. But I'm definitely not going for peanut butter, which to me is a dessert and a sweet treat.
Wow. Okay, so obviously I'm on the other side, which is savory. And I mean, you're bringing up the whole going to the pantry thing.
I'm just setting a story.
I love that. I absolutely love that. But when I go to the pantry and if I am craving something that is not candy and I want something savory, I put that in the category of having a cracker or some chips or a spoon full of peanut butter.
Wow.
That is on that side for me.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just not on the same page.
Okay. I honestly think that if you grew up, and I mean, for example, your whole family says that it's sweet. Even your dad, who is a chef. That's a strong, that's a strong case right there. I feel like maybe did y'all grow up having these treats in between meals and you had, I don't know, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich maybe, and that's why you are associating it with...
I mean, yes, but I think that's like everyone. Like, I think everyone is associating it back to their childhood because even if you ask people, they're like, which peanut butter did you grow up with? Okay, let me back up.
Okay.
Back to childhood.
childhood?
We actually used to eat, my grandma used to serve me, not serve me, my grandma used to make me peanut butter sandwiches, and she added sugar.
What?
So that to me is a sweet treat. Like I associate peanut butter with sugar and like sweet things because we would eat it as like a dessert.
Right. Okay, before your childhood, when peanut butter was made, I mean, I don't really know the exact details of it, but I feel like when I'm on, my side of the debate, sweet or savory, I always want to think of peanut butter in its just purest form, And for example, I used to go to Winco, and you go to the machine and you can put peanuts in a machine and grind it up to make your own peanut butter. And that to me is not sweet. Do you know what I mean? Like peanuts ground up.
Yeah, but that's talking about peanuts. We're talking about peanut butter. Actual like a jar of peanut butter.
Right, but you make peanut butter with
Yeah, but there's
peanuts.
additives to peanut butter.
Do you guys want a neutral fact about when peanut butter was invented?
Yes.
Les, give it to us.
Since you're referencing it, it was invented in 1895 as a substitute for older patients who didn't have teeth and couldn't chew meat.
Oh.
What year was that?
That was in 1895.
1895
Jeez.
peanut butter was created. Wow.
I actually thought that maybe it would be older.
Oh. I was thinking it was in like the 1900s.
Or maybe
Like I actually thought it was maybe in the 40s or the 50s.
Right. Maybe it was introduced more into mainstream snacking or
Right.
whatever. But yes, thank you for that fact. For it to be a substitute, I mean, you could take it either way. For patients who couldn't eat meat, right? You associate that more with savory.
Yes.
Yes.
I hear you on that, but I think if we're thinking about peanut butter in the way that peanut butter is presented to us now, for example, we were at Target the other day.
Okay.
And if you go into Target or any grocery store, where do you find peanut butter? You find it next to fruit spreads, Nutella, like other spreads. So when I'm talking about peanut butter, I'm not talking about peanuts themselves or crushing up peanuts. I'm talking about peanut butter in a jar that you're using as a spread. And so I'm using that fact to support that peanut butter as a whole in the industry is looked at as a sweet treat and a spread.
I think it's looked at as a spread.
Yeah.
Just a spread. I don't see that all spreads have to be sweet. To me, that's not a thing of when I think about spreads.
But then why wouldn't it be associated with the like where the other spreads are? Like why would they put them all in the same sweet category?
All right.
The industry. They're setting it.
So obviously,
so it must be right.
We're getting a lot of responses, obviously, to this question. And a lot of them talk about, which we'll bring up later, more specific ones, but they talk about it being both. Peanut butter is both savory and sweet. So let's read the definition of savory.
I was gonna ask.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I would love to hear the definition of savory.
All right, just the plain definition of savory is a food belonging to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, of course I can.
I'm just processing.
A food belonging to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet.
Okay, then you're proving the point that peanut butter is not savory.
No, I'm pointing that it is savory because it does lean towards whatever you think it is, right? It can be both, but for me and for 80% of people out there, based on my Instagram polls, just saying, actually it was 60, I'm not gonna lie, 60% leans savory. So here, the definition is literally saying belong to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet. So if it does lean towards more of a salty snack, then by definition, it is savory.
I still am on the side that if it truly is both, then it can't be savory. Maybe savory is not the right word. Like maybe it is sweet and something else, but it's not. Like in the definition, it's not savory because if we're saying that peanut butter is actually both, then it has to be sweet, right? And in the definition, then it can't be savory.
Okay,
if we're going technical.
Well, let me acknowledge then another point. You're bringing up the grocery store stuff. I do think that peanut butter probably has evolved to a place where all of the mainstream peanut butter is more sweet, right? But when you're talking about, we brought up peanut butter in its purest form. I'm looking at the bottle that says just organic peanut butter. That's nothing else, right? If I eat a spoon of it, it is absolutely not a sweet treat.
To me, it's still sweet. It is. Like, that's still a sweet.
Even organic peanut butter.
Yes.
You can look me in the eye and tell me that it is sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
Even if you think about not even just peanuts, like nut butters, like
Sure.
almond butter, cashew butter,
Right.
all
Of course,
those
the same thing.
spreads,
Yeah.
organic, it's sweet.
Oh, absolutely not.
Unless they add because if you're adding, like, you're doing roasted peanuts, or you're having, usually peanuts have salt in it, then it's like just automatically salty.
What? Yes, that's the ingredients.
I know, but we're not talking about grinding up nuts. Like, we're talking about peanut butter. What?
I just have a hard time believing anybody who is saying that it is like most definitely sweet, even just a plain spoonful of organic peanut butter.
I am saying that it is both, but it does lean sweet. Like, there's still sweet elements to that.
And I'll acknowledge that peanut butter now, like Jif or, the more popular ones, yes, they put a crap ton of sugar to make it lean sweet. But I still think even when I'm eating a spoonful of that sweet peanut butter or whatever with a bunch of sugar, it still does not crave my sweet craving.
But that's your opinion, because for me it does. Like, we're never going to agree on that, because for me it tastes sweet.
Okay. Obviously, we have these differing opinions. Maybe we bring in some other perspectives that can help shape maybe why each of us think this way.
Because everyone has their own perspectives.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay, so now that you and I were able to kind of get our sides of the sweet or savory debate, let's bring in some outside perspectives. Let's see how that goes. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is from our friend Lyle, and he says, I agree with you, Alyssa. To crave my sweet tooth, I go for a spoonful of peanut butter. So overall, it leans sweet. But you can make it savory with recipes like peanut sauce for Vietnamese spring rolls, kare kare, or pad thai. So he's saying it leans sweet, but you can make it savory.
Okay, that's fair. Do you have another one to share in that sense?
Oh, do you want to?
No, okay, I'll do a little rebuttal. So this is from our friend David Galvan. He's in our group chat. He says savory because I like it on sliders. That's interesting. I don't know. I said that one out loud. And kare kare, and I think of Thai food when I think of peanut sauces. So it's actually bringing up the same point that our friend Lyle brought up about kare kare and peanut sauces, but David used it to prove that it is savory. Kare kare, for those who don't know, is a Filipino dish, Filipino food dish
with peanut butter.
With peanut butter, peanut sauce. It's very thick peanut sauce you put on rice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it's
for me,
savory dish.
It is a savory dish. Absolutely. And I read a lot of our comments on our post on Instagram, and a lot of them use that as their big reasoning that makes peanut butter savory.
But if you know Filipino cuisine, you will know that Filipinos add sweetness or sugar to everything. And kare kare is one of those dishes where it is a savory dish, but they add in sweetness to make it sweet. We're not judging kare kare here, okay? We are talking about peanut butter, and peanut butter is something that kare kare is a dish that has peanut butter in it. So yes, it is savory in that sense, but you're adding peanut butter to make it sweet. Otherwise, if you don't have the peanut butter in kare kare, there's no sweetness.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, and maybe we are just seeing it in different ways, that that is continuing to prove that peanut butter is savory. But go on.
No, you're adding peanut butter to make it sweet. Think about kare kare without peanut butter, without adding the peanuts in it.
Okay.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just meat and salty flavors. Why do you add peanut butter
to enhance those salty, savory flavors?
No, you're adding sweetness.
Okay, look, we should have cooked some kare kare for tonight, so we
God,
could have, had a little meal, a little family dinner with everybody here, but we can't. We can't. So go on.
I'll go on. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I have another opinion from our friend Alyssa.
Oh.
Another Alyssa, not
Another
me though.
Alyssa. Yep.
She says, peanut butter is sweet. You eat a spoonful of peanut butter because it is sweet, just like you would do with Nutella. However, you would not eat a spoonful of mayonnaise, mustard, or ketchup because they are savory.
Damn. That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, because a
I'll acknowledge
spoonful of peanut butter, like a spoonful of Nutella, would crave that sweet craving.
Okay, I will acknowledge that it is a treat, but you're also allowed to have savory treats. So you're not going to eat a spoonful of ketchup. You can eat some plain chips, barbecue chips, Peanut butter just happens to be one of those things that you can eat it with the consistency and texture of some kind of cream, right? Mm-hmm. But this type of cream just happens to lead savory. Okay, my turn. My turn.
Go.
This is what most people are giving us, which is both sides of the story. So Ryanik81 from my Discord, peanut butter is fluid between sweet and savory. When it's paired with something, it usually provides the opposite profile. This is actually bringing me to a good point. So it says, it also depends on type of brand, of course. Yeah, some mass-produced PB tends to be sweeter because of the amount of sugar used. Yes. Thank you, Ryanik. So that actually brings me to what helps my debate, which is peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Ryanik says, when it's paired with something, it usually provides the opposite profile. So when you're having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, the reason why it's so good is because it is the best of both worlds. It is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and jelly, obviously, is sweet, is very sweet. Mm-hmm. You add the peanut butter, it contrasts that jelly. You're not going to put peanut butter to make it more sweet. Why would you eat a doubly sweet sandwich? So you put the peanut butter with the jelly and you have this perfectly balanced sandwich.
Great. That's a cool example, okay? But now we're just talking about combos of food that go together. You can't use that specific argument. To me, peanut butter and jelly are actually both sweet. I know that's different for you. But to bring another example to the table, you do mix sweet and sweet. Actually, we do it all the time.
Do we?
Caramel and chocolate. Those are both sweet things.
Okay, yeah, but...
And those go together. It's not always opposites attract.
It's hard for me to compare having a caramel apple or caramel and chocolate, comparing that to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It's hard because it can be sweet and sweet. That's why it's hard. If you want to give another example, I think of celery and peanut butter. You're not putting peanut butter on a piece of celery to make it more savory.
Okay, that's a fair example. Let me bring another perspective in. Our friends Ashley and Mick Torres just got married. They believe that peanut butter is savory because it has protein. Is that not a strong point?
Okay, so you're telling me my vanilla and chocolate protein, it's automatically savory? What? Okay, chicken's protein, so it's savory. No, it's protein because it's protein.
Yeah, that's a protein smoothie. It is meant to make it more bearable to have protein. That's why you do that, right?
What?
Yes, you're having a protein smoothie with flavoring because you're not
I'm
just going to...
talking about the protein itself, the powder.
Well, that's what I mean. You're not going to eat protein powder just straight up. You know what I mean?
No, because it's just chalky.
Right.
And bland.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't really like that argument, actually.
Okay, go on. Yeah, that's fine.
I rest my case in the protein.
That's that perspective, and that is laid to rest. Go ahead. More sweet.
So I want to bring in a perspective from a chef who was on MasterChef and trained by Gordon Ramsay. His perspective, because he's bringing a more technical kind of base to this argument. So let's play the clip.
All right, here we go.
A peanut is a legume. A legume is a bean. A bean is a fruit. So technically, peanut butter is a fruit spread.
Which goes back to my argument. why peanut butter is next to the fruit spread at the grocery aisle. Because peanuts are a legume.
All right. Technically, that may be true. Avocado is technically a fruit as well. But you're not going to eat an avocado the way you would eat an orange. Avocado and peanuts, yes, maybe they are both technically fruits. At its core, you just eat it plain. I'm going to eat some peanuts at the gas station, but I need to also get some candy at the gas station because they don't fall in the same category. Do you know what I mean?
But we're not talking about peanuts. We're talking about peanut butter.
But you just said if we're going back to the root.
No, because we're going back to the root to relate it to it be like when it becomes peanut butter. Peanut butter is a fruit spread if we're like actually going back to the technicalities.
Which you're saying is not a valid thing to go back to.
Okay.
All right. Okay. One more from Hickabicaboo from my Discord. Peanut butter is savory. Most commercial peanut butters in supermarkets have some form of sugar incorporated in them, but it's peanuts and oil, savory. That's interesting because real peanut butter really is just ground up peanuts and oil. And I think that is a big thing that gets brought up in our Sweet or Savory group chat is that at its core, peanut butter is just peanuts and oil. And it may have evolved into a place where it has a ton of sugar and that it's commercialized that way and it is more produced, mass produced in that way. But I think if we are talking about peanut butter at its core, I still do believe that it is savory.
Well, if you can separate two ingredients, then you can call peanuts savory. And peanuts and oil being a savory thing. But we're still here talking about peanut butter. So that's my argument against that argument is that we're not separating these ingredients and grading them. Because I can agree, peanuts, yes, they're savory. But when you're making it into a peanut butter, it's sweet.
All right, let's bring some Instagram comments in real quick. Jeremy Passion, Filipino-American singer-songwriter legend, says, it's both in my opinion. I think the more natural peanut butters will be more on the savory side, but the big brand, Jif and Skippy, as we've been saying, put hella sugar in it so we get used to it being more of a sweet treat. However, on the other side of that is Gabe Bondoc, who's also Phil-Am singer-songwriter, and a lot of the people associate them two together. Gabe Bondoc just says, sweet, sweet, sweet. Brian Puspos, amazing dancer and also singer, film singer, he goes, F it, sour.
Sour.
I also want to shout out my little sister, Justine, who is a very huge advocate for it being savory. And I think that actually, as we've mentioned before, your family grew up eating it as a sweet treat.
Yeah.
My family grew up, not thinking of it as a sweet treat. So that does play into
eating it more as a meal, like
like a meal. Like we'll have a peanut butter sandwich, for that it's a savory treat for us. Mm-hmm. And I'll acknowledge that it is, yes, more so of a treat, which is traditionally leaning to the sweet side, but for us it was a savory treat. So I just want to thank everybody on our peanut butter post on my Instagram and Alyssa's Instagram for weighing into this discussion. You can read more on the post, and we'll also put that on our Sweet or Savory podcast. Instagram. Yes.
I unfortunately am in the minority according to my own polls, but I still, as a whole, I still am a firm believer that it's sweet. Despite what majority or minority say, because I don't think that means it's right or wrong. Like it's one or the other. I still stick to my guns in that the argument that I provided today proves it to be sweet.
Fair. That's fair. Let's shake hands. Let's shake hands. All right, so we've brought in some outside perspectives. We've obviously talked about it from our own perspective. Mm-hmm. Is peanut butter sweet or savory? One of our producers here, Julie, has some things to share with us as well.
I have some very interesting trivia.
Okay.
Things that I hope you've never heard about peanuts and peanut butter.
Let's hear it.
Wow, excited.
Okay, so the first one, and this is a fact. What happens to peanut butter in a super high pressure environment?
Ooh. I think that it separates the oil and peanuts. What do you think?
I was going to say the same thing, but now, are we talking peanuts or peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, okay.
And if I can give you a hint.
Sure.
it becomes more expensive.
Oh, more expensive. I don't know. Like,
Turns into a crystal.
I was gonna say like it extracts into like a super rare type of like oil or something. I don't know.
Final answers?
Yeah, my final answer is that it forms into some expensive crystal.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my God.
Really?
I am
It-
smart.
A crystal?
It turns into a diamond.
What?
Yeah. You can make
Wait, are you
diamonds out of
serious?
peanut butter. According to...
Why are diamonds so expensive then? If we could just do that, the technology.
Well, not all of us have the technology.
Okay, this one's a more normal trivia question.
Okay, because that one was a little shocking.
Yes. According to the Skippy Peanut Butter website, the average American child will eat how many peanut butter sandwiches by the time he or she graduates from high school?
So by the time you graduate high school, you're maybe 17, 18.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing the math, well, you have a lot when you're like a kid. How many do you think?
I'm going to say
we have
20 a year. 20 a year.
20.
Oh, maybe 12. Average 12.
Yeah, I mean, let's do 12 a year.
Okay, 12 a year times 18. 12 a year times 18.
12 times 18 is can you just
12
calculate it?
yeah. 12 times 18 is about 216. Maybe we'll go on the low side. So 200.
No, 216 is good.
Okay, 216.
Yeah.
What was it?
The correct answer is 1,500.
That's a lot. Oh my God, we were so low. I'm glad we went a little higher.
We're about to stay at 200. Okay, that's a good fact.
1,500?
Wow.
Yes.
I wonder how much I've had.
Interesting.
All right. What phobia do 9% of Americans have that's related to peanut butter?
Ooh.
Oh, that they're going to choke and die on peanut butter. Because
I like that answer.
Clog like your throat.
Right. I think it has to do with something similar, but their mouth may be that they can't swallow. So it's pretty much the same thing. Choke and die.
Or, like,
And,
get
mine's
stuck.
that they can't swallow.
Yeah, that's pretty close. It's arachibutyrphobia
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah,
and
and
it
what
is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, but not dying.
I'm sure that's
I
part
think
of
that's part of it for some
Okay,
people.
yeah.
Like if it gets stuck up there.
Wow.
And fun fact, Woody Allen has this.
Whoa.
Interesting.
So ABC News reported that individually wrapped slices of peanut butter, kind of like sliced cheese, may soon be on the market. How do we feel about that?
Well, you know what? I'm not too surprised because there already is individually wrapped peanut butter that exists. Like what's that brand? Justin's.
Oh, yeah.
Justin's
They sell
comes
it in, like,
those
little
little
packets.
individual
Oh, yeah.
packets.
That you open.
So I feel like
But like sliced
Sliced
peanut
cheese.
butter, I
That's
feel
a
like
little-
that's another level.
yeah, that's a little more like processed sounding. Like when you're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you can just like don't have to spread it. You just put it on.
Yeah.
I would try it just because I'm interested, but
You guys should comment below if they should try that on their next Instagram
does it
stories.
exist already?
It says it may be on the market soon, but I don't know when that was
We'll
written.
be the first to try.
Yeah. If whatever brand that is,
Contact us.
reach out.
Yeah. Next sponsor. All right. Here's a question first and then a follow-up fact. So
Okay.
between the two of you, do you prefer crunchy or smooth?
Crunchy.
Yeah, crunchy.
What about you?
Yeah, more of a smooth. I mean, we have crunchy at home, and I've been eating that. But I would prefer it to be smooth. Yes. I mean, it's like when I'm having orange juice, I like no pulp.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love pulp. I like the more pulp, the better.
Ew.
Because it's more like hearty. I love texture. I like cottage cheese. I
Right,
like
I-
things with like some gritty texture. So that's why I like crunchy.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, what's the
So
follow-up
you
fact?
guys are the opposite of average. Generally, men opt for chunky and women and
Interesting.
children prefer creamy.
Interesting.
Wow.
And West Coast prefers chunky.
East
and
Coast
East
is...
Coast prefers creamy. Let me double check that fact.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow,
That's cool.
that is cool. Opposites of the norm.
I think those are all my facts for now.
We love it.
I love that. That was fun.
Very fun. I want to shout out some of our friends as well who have been chiming in on this debate. I've been asking for some text messages. Kathy Nguyen, who, longtime singing partner of mine, go back in the OG YouTube days, literally says, I don't want to choose sides. But I consider it savory, she says.
She just didn't want to disappoint me.
Yeah, that's why. See, that's the thing, too. People kind of, they know what side we're on, and maybe say their answer
Yeah.
to appease.
Like they want to support.
Yeah, they want to support. Yeah. Simu Liu, aka Shang-Chi, literally also says a very diplomatic answer and says it straddles the line. So that's from
Sure
Simu.
does.
I have an optional taste test that I think could completely answer the question. It's not the most aesthetically.
Okay, no, this is very
No, you can
aesthetically
see
pleasing. Thank you.
The peanut butter.
All right, just a little kind of
little
spoonful.
dollop, a little spoonful.
dollop. I like that. Thank you. Thanks,
Cheers.
Julie. Just take a bite, a random bite of this peanut butter.
I am taking a bite.
Yeah.
This is like what would satisfy my sweet craving. And this is organic.
Oh my god. I can't swallow it. I can't swallow it.
You need water?
All right, so we just took a spoonful of peanut butter. Thank you for the napkins, Nathan. And I still stick to my guns.
Well, great, because I still stick to my guns.
Thank you to everybody for listening to the Sweet or Savory,
Savory
podcast.
Podcast.
We got to get used to that. Again, thank you to all who helped us produce this episode, especially Nathan and Julie Texan here, the sweetest, most kind couple, hospitable couple. We love them so much. Help behind the camera, behind the mic as well. And also, fun fact, Nathan edited and shot our Carol of the Bells video that you can find on Instagram, on YouTube as well. We want to especially thank our very first sponsor, Samson, who provided the peanut butter. I'm kidding. All of the gear for us to record, all the way from the XLR cables to the desk-mounted mic stands, which are amazing. And we, of course, have the Samson Q9Us, which can also be hooked up through USB. Also the headphones.
Yeah, look at these.
As well. So again, go to samsontech.com and you can also find them on Instagram, Samson_technologies. Tune in each week as we debate and discuss perspectives from our friends, family, and you, from your messages on our social media platforms, through our Discord channel, and also just in life.
Yeah.
People coming up to us nowadays and say, by the way,
I think it's sweet or savory.
So stay tuned each week as we debate more things like, is Disneyland better than Disney World? Or
Who has the best French fries?
and what color do you associate your folders with when you went to school?
Yeah, what color is math? What color is English?
What color is science?
And heated topics like, can you be friends with your ex? And don't forget to follow us on social media on all platforms at Sweet or Savory Pod.
Yep.
Or you can email us with future debate topics, sweetorsavorypod@gmail.com. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
And please tell your friends, share this with all of your people.
Stay sweet.
Or savory.
Bye.
Bye.
Good job. Thanks, y'all. First pod. Can't wait to add music.